Hey, hey! How are you doing today? Let me have a look. I think, yeah, we're live on Instagram. I'm just gonna double check on Facebook because it always takes a little moment to load. Um, mm, 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 mm. Let me see. Hey, Lindsay, how are you doing? Alrighty, yeah, we're live on Facebook, live on Instagram, and we're going to speak about discovering your ideal wellness business model, because I'm seeing a pattern among especially the yoga teachers that we work with, but also the people that I am meeting here in Morocco at the moment that all want to start their own business, and they're very stuck on what they want to create, the tools and the practices that they want to offer, but they forget a few very important points. And I know that because I have been there too, and I made exactly the same mistakes. I wouldn't actually call them mistakes right now because they have taught me a lot. But I know that if you consider some key points, you will save yourself a lot of time and actually set yourself up for success. So that's what we're going to speak about today: how to discover or how to choose a business model that suits your students' needs, but that also matches your ideal lifestyle, your personality traits, your unique qualities, right? We spoke about that earlier this month, or in November last month, and your energy levels, because all of that really are important. All of those things are important when you want to build a business that's not just about making money, but also feels purposeful, that feels fulfilling, that feels rewarding, a business in which you feel recognized for what you do, and that people actually love what you do, that you yourself love what you do, but also in a way that it's sustainable, because we're not just building a business for the year of 24, we're building a business for the foreseeable future, right? It's something that you want to transition in so that you do not have to work this 9 to 5 job anymore, and that you do not have to teach 20 yoga classes a week, but really feel fulfilled and satisfied in sharing your passions in a way that suits you. So, just gonna save my battery on my phone. Bear with me. There we go. Alrighty, so let me dive in. Um, let's start, because if you're watching this, I can assume that you're at the start of your entrepreneurial journey, and you want to make the shift from being employed or working for someone else to becoming your own boss. And you want to do meaningful work and turn your passions for wellness, can be yoga, can be spirituality, can be coaching, anything in the wellness or health and wellness field. You want to turn that into your profession, right? You want to gain freedom. You want to shape your days around the practices that you love and that have changed your life. And you want to wake up feeling excited to serve the people that are keen to learn from you. They're actually committed to investing in their transformation. And also go to bed feeling recognized and feeling fulfilled, because what you do is truly meaningful, right? This is where you want to be. So you think probably that to get there, I need to create a course, or I need to become a coach, or I need to organize events or host a retreat. And yes, all of these are very valid thoughts. And it can be that one of those things is going to be your business model or the product that you create. But the pitfall I started this training with as well is to overthink the things that we are going to create and the tools and the practices that we want to offer, and forget about how you want to feel in the process of creating it and getting to having fulfilling, sustainable, thriving, and purposeful business for yourself. So we overthink what and we forget about the why. And if you don't know what I mean with what and why, watch our previous training sessions on this topic, because I've spoken about this in a lot of detail. So we tend to dive in and create without considering the types of products that suit our personality, that promote our ideal lifestyle, and that also matches the way in which we best spend our energy, right? Some people like to go, 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 and others need a lot more resting time in between. And some people are very outgoing and want to be with people all the time. And other people best spend their energy writing or recording their content so their students can use these in their own time, right? So we need to consider all of those little elements. And on my entrepreneurial journey, I dove right in, I created and I experienced all of this. I got so excited that I created without considering all these key points, which for me led to burnout because I was so busy creating, and not actually sure what I was doing. And through trial and error, I realized that not all business models align with my students' needs or with my own way of working, my preferred lifestyle, the way that I want to go through my days, and my energy levels. So that's the reason why I want to host this training for you today, to get a little bit of insight into what each model includes, and what it really takes to create them, and what that means then for your day-to-day life. Yeah. So based on my experience, because I've been coaching wellpreneurs, people in the yoga and in the wellness industry for the last 2 years privately, and I'm doing group sessions with Digital Yoga Academy. I'm doing lots of coaching beside what you see here on Enga Unite. And you have maybe noticed that we're also hosting our Launch and Expand Your International Career program. So based on what I have seen with people that are starting their business, it doesn't really matter what you will eventually create, but building the foundation of each type of product or each type of model really requires, no, actually it all takes a very similar approach. But the way that you shape your model or the way that you create your offers heavily influences, need to charge my laptop, heavily influences the way that you conduct your market research, the way that you manage your tasks, the way that you build your marketing and communication strategies, the way that you establish your voice and your content messaging, the way that you create content in general, and also the way, very important, because these are the people that actually are going to buy your offers, the way that you build community. Yeah, all of these things differ a little bit depending on your type of model. So we need to already consider this. Now, I already mentioned the biggest mistake, honestly, that you can make is to create without consideration and without validation. Now, product validation is a topic that requires lots of market research, and also from my side requires more explanation. So I will discuss that with you another day in another training. But where it all begins building your business is tuning in with, guess what? Your vision. I've spoken about that a lot also in the last training sessions. Your vision, your purpose, and your values. And again, gaining an understanding of what you want your business to feel and to look like. Yeah. So Before you dive into all the possibilities and you start creating hundreds of different things, I would like to take you through types of business models in the wellness industry or in the wellness world, what they really entail, what you need to consider, and how to choose one that suits you. Yeah? So, are you excited? I'm actually really excited about this. I'm gonna start with one of the most obvious ones, and I think that most people start here. This is what they most of the time think they need to create, and it's courses or programs. Yeah, courses or programs. So, courses and programs, what are they really? They offer your students a journey, and that's why we've got the Teach Yoga and English journey, right? So this journey is structured and it takes your students on a step-by-step approach, guiding your students from point A, somewhere that they are not really happy, to point B, where they actually want to be. And they do that by identifying problems, challenges, things they would like to change to achieve a certain goal. And that is your job, right? Getting them on that journey from point A to point B. Now, courses and programs, they can include self-paced learning or live learning or both. Yeah, on the Teach Yoga and English journey, for example, we've got 7 self-paced modules, but we have 2 weekly meetups, classes and community meetups to enhance what they learn. Self-paced learning fosters accessibility and also flexibility because your students can now learn at their own pace and they can assess the materials when it's convenient to them. That means that they can accommodate their learning to their own schedule. But live interaction is really powerful because with live interaction, you have more engagement and you get to know your students better, which usually also helps your students to actually reach the finish line of your outcome, that point B that you promise or that you have people really sign up for. So it can be self-paced or live learning or a combination. Then you choose the duration because based on that journey A to B, you choose, or from experience most of the time, you know what really needs to happen, what type of processes or steps they need to take to get to point B. So based on the outcome of your course or your program and what that journey looks like, or how you're going to take your students from A to B, you decide how long it should be. And if you're working on a small problem, maybe it's a 4-week course. If you're actually doing something big, and I do this with the journey, I help people to feel confident teaching yoga and English. It's a long journey because there's a lot of things that we need to learn and practice to actually embody and feel confident about what we do, right? And the same with the Launch and Expand journey or Launch and Expand program. It also takes 6 months because building a business is not something that you do in 3 weeks. It's going to take time. There are processes, there are things to learn, there are mindset shifts needed, and there's a lot of new strategies that you need to apply. And to actually see results, this takes time. So based on the solution that you offer, you choose how long the duration should be. Then also consider accessibility and adaptability to your students' needs. And if you've been with me for a while, you know that this to me is one of my core values. I want it to be accessible and adaptable to my students' needs. What this means is that you can, especially when you have live interaction in your courses, you can differ or alter the content to make the course meet every individual's needs. And that means that you enhance the success of your students and also their satisfaction, right? there are a few people here that are joining us for courses multiple times because they know that no journey or no course is going to be completely the same. Every time we've got other people joining, you will experience new challenges or new things that you want to learn. And I adapt it in the moment so that I'm sure that you get out of it what you do or what you need in that moment. So something to consider for your courses and your programs as well. Now, there are some benefits of this as well for you as a business owner, because if you have a course or a program, you can launch it again and again to make a bigger impact. And a bigger impact, I mean reach more people, help more people, and transform more people's lives. Because that means you can relaunch your programs in the month of March, in the month of September, the next year, and the next year, and the next year, and it may change all a little bit, but that course, the foundation of your course or your program stays the same. Yeah, and that allows you to save time, because if you're repurposing, you're not creating from scratch all the time anymore. And also it allows you to help more people with very similar challenges and similar desires for a certain outcome. Courses and programs also offer you the chance for student retention and longer journeys. And especially this happens when you have multiple programs, right? That means that maybe if you know our journey, we've got Teach Yoga and English Essentials is where it all begins. Then we've got Teach Yoga and English Find Your Voice, the Vocabulary Builder, your queuing first, sequencing, making your classes accessible, and then build your business. So it's a journey that means that it can be a program as a whole, but you can also split it up and have separate programs. That means student retention, longer journeys, and offering your students to actually make massive progress for a longer period of time, which also means deeper and stronger connections with your students and more commitment. Yeah, so something to consider when you want to create courses and programs. Now, you may think about passive income, right? This is something that I hear a lot. And courses and programs, as you guess, it's not always the case, but it can offer you the opportunity to make passive income. Personally, and this is something that I've learned from my business coach, and I completely agree with this. Passive income is never completely 100% passive, because behind the scenes, you're still interacting with your students and you're still enhancing your course content. You're still making changes or sending out emails or giving your students feedback, or answer their questions. So I don't believe in 100% passive income model, but it will be easier to sell and to scale. So there is the opportunity or the possibility to make more consistent income. And I'm going to speak about that again for different business models. So lots of things to consider for courses and programs. I think this is the number one thing people consider. So have a think about this and think about how all of these characteristics match your students' needs, your ideal lifestyle, and also your energy levels. Yeah. So that's number one, business model number one. I'm going to go to the next one. And I think that's the next most obvious thing. And it's, well, actually not. For me, this has a shared place based on my experience working with people and what they have come to me with when they want to create their business. So we've got a shared place here for coaching and mentorship or memberships. But I'm going to speak first about coaching and mentorship. So coaching and mentorships usually are one-on-one, right? So there's more a tailored or personalized individual approach that can lead to really profound personal growth because you're addressing very specific needs, very specific goals that are really focused on one individual. Now, this means that you've got private meetings and one-on-one interaction. That means that you've got deeper connections with your students. You can also offer more personalized guidance. And it creates a lot of accountability because you are directly working with your students. And there's a lot of high interaction, meaning one-on-one interaction, you with your students directly, which fosters a lot of trust, motivation, and also commitment. And commitment can be linked to accountability. Now, it can be that you do group coaching. Yes, so on the launch and expand your international business, I call it group coaching because there's a lot of training, but really coaching sessions in a group setting to not only receive support from me in the moment with the group, but also find this support among each other. And that can be super powerful as well. So coaching can be one-on-one, but it can also be in a group setting. Now, usually, just as with your student's journey A to B, coaching as well is solution focused. So this is similar to your group courses or your programs. Coaching takes individuals from point A to point B, and they focus on overcoming a challenge, a problem, a need, or a desire to achieving a certain outcome. Often it's something that they want to become better at or that they want to change in their lives. Yeah. Now, I think all of the models have a lot of flexibility, but I see most flexibility with coaching and mentorship. And it means you've got flexible duration and also a lot of personalization. That means that you can decide on how long the sessions are going to be, short-term commitments and long-term commitments. Is it going to be a one-off coaching session or a package where you also take students from A to B? It can be a very tailored approach. Maybe you've got an outline of all the things that you can help someone with, but when you work with this student or with this client one-on-one, you completely change your curriculum to really meet this individual's needs and also their preferences. And the very important or very common phrase that we use in yoga, to meet your students where they are at. Yeah. Then we also want to look at scalability and your impact, because as a coach or as a mentor, our time is limited. It's more limited. We can only take on so many people a day or a week. Yeah, if you have group courses, people can enroll all the time whenever they want to. And especially with this self-paced model, speaking in modules too much, especially with a self-paced model, students don't need you to be interacting with them one-on-one all the time. With coaching and mentorship, there's a little bit of limitation here because you can only take on so many people a day, a week, or a month, right? So usually there are benefits to this because they are, for you as a benefit, is higher priced. There is more live interaction, which can mean that your students makes progress faster. There's more accountability, more commitment from your students. And you can scale it to switch your private coaching to making it group coaching as well, to help you get rid of the limitation a little bit, right? So when it's group coaching, you have a wider reach and also create a sense of community. So group coaching in particular, it's very similar to group courses with live interaction. They facilitate a wider impact and a supportive community. One-on-one coaching, there's a little bit of limitation in terms of your time. yeah, your time and your schedule availability, but it's usually higher priced. So things to bear in mind. Let me think. I've got some bullet points. No, I think this is it for group coaching for now. But anyone, if you have questions about this, if you feel like, okay, but what if it's one-on-one or group coaching, and then we've got group programs or group courses, if you have questions about each of these modules, write them in the chat. Yes, I can give them, explain it in more detail. Now, do remember that for all of these things, bear in mind or consider all of the advantages, all of the, I wouldn't say downsides, but maybe the things that are less attractive to you. Consider how important it is to have individual time with your students, or that your students can do things at their own pace and be independent learners, and how much you want to ensure collective growth. Yeah, so that means how much you think, how important you think it is to work or to learn in a group setting. Consider all of these things. And I will move on to the next one, which are studios or memberships. Now, studios usually are in person. Yeah, that's an actual place that we go to practice or to participate in events. You can create a membership at a studio, but you can also do this online and have an online studio, right? So very soon we will start the launch and expand your international business career. And I'm going to also speak about the differences of all of these modules online and in person. But for now, I just want you to bear in mind that all of this is possible online and in person. Yeah, we're going to dive into this deeper later on this month. So the studio and the membership model, they usually offer more stability in income because people pay on a monthly basis. So there's more consistency in your income, but it also means more consistent teaching and more consistent new content creation, because we need to maintain engagement and we need to also keep attracting new people, right? So for this, I especially suggest to consider your energy levels, your ideal lifestyle, and how much you actually want to keep creating consistent content and how much you want to teach. So let's have a look at some characteristics, because we've got consistency and stability. Yeah, memberships offer a very stable income stream, and that can mean that you have stable financial, whether you've got a financial stability. They do, however, require you to teach and to create new content consistently. Yes, and I already explained this because you want to maintain engagement and attract new members. Now, when it comes to community engagement, it really can create, just as with group programs or group courses that are live, that are not self-paced but live, it can create togetherness and also a lot of support among all of your members because they're together going through your content. On the other side, though, it may require or may demand more energy from you because you need to keep your audience engaged. Yeah, and you need to also create more content consistently. Now, with memberships and with studios, there's a lot of potential for scaling. Scaling means that we either create new products on the side or that we have several tiers, several pricing options. So that means that you, for example, have a membership with access to all of your live classes. You've got another tier, another pricing option where you have access to the live classes, but also access to all of the recordings. And it also can mean that you've got another tier where you've got live classes and recordings, or live classes and recordings and maybe private sessions included. So there's a lot of scalability, right? And you can repurpose your content as well. maybe you create a workshop series out of previous recordings that you have. So there's a lot of scalability possible for you. It can reach a very broad audience, especially if it's online, and there is no geographical limitation. I actually think that with none of the models, you've got any limitation in terms of who and where you want people to reach. Yeah. So with studios though, and especially when studios are online, there is a downside to this, and that means there's a little bit of limitation of how many people you can receive in your space. There is a cap to it. It means that if you've got a space where you can only accommodate to 20 people, that is the only number of people that you can also receive money for, right? If it's online, there's no limitation really. You can have a lot of people joining your classes, and especially if you also offer recordings, because then people practice in their own time. So bear that in mind. The other thing that you need to consider with memberships and studios is that here the result, so that journey that I spoke about taking your students from point A to point B, usually isn't super clear. It might be less focused, because with memberships, you want to retain your students for the whole year or another year, for years to come, right? So there isn't a very clear finish line. It may be that you have challenges within your membership, or that you have very focused months where you work on a particular outcome. Yeah, but there might not be a very clear, we are here right now and I'm going to take you to point B. So that's something to also consider, because it means you need to create more content. Yeah, to keep people engaged and to have them stick to and stay in your membership. So studio and membership model really offers a lot of stability. Can be also a lot of consistent income, but it may require more time, more energy, because you have to create more. And especially if it's a studio that's in person, so at an actual location, there's a limitation on how many people you can receive. Yeah, another thing to bear in mind when you go through your models. Next I've got two more for you. The next one is retreats and events. Yeah, I love retreats and events, and I think they offer really a lot of unique benefits for anyone in the wellness world. First of all, freedom and adventure, right? Because retreats usually are hosted at places abroad, which means that you travel a lot, or that you at least travel during the time of your retreat or your event. Excuse me, there's some music going on outside. I hope it's not too loud. So they offer you the opportunity to create very unique experiences that foster personal and professional growth through visiting new places and also being in diverse environments. Give me a second, everyone. I think they're gonna walk by. I'm not sure. Can you actually hear this? Are you disturbed by the noise? Maybe I have to close my window a little bit. Give me a second. Not sure if that helps. Bear with me, everyone. Alrighty. It's the beauty of Morocco. It's very vibrant and very energetic, but when you're in a live, it's not hearing the music. Oh, okay, great. Okay, so when it comes to retreats and events, freedom and adventure, because you probably will host them at places abroad, which also helps you to introduce your students to a very unique experience. Yeah, you take people out of their comfort zone, out of their daily routines, to really come back to themselves, to learn something new, to connect with other people, and make a lot of progress in a very short duration of time. So it also allows you to be less consistent in your teaching, which means that you've got a mix of work and life balance. It means that you go out and do your retreat 1 week, maybe then 1 week you're off to recharge, and next month you're doing another retreat or event, or in the meantime, you work on nurturing your community for the next retreat coming up. Yeah, retreats can also be something that you do on the side, that you've got your courses and your programs going on, but doing a retreat once a year. So it can be something that you add on to all the ways that people can work with you. So there's a lot of variation possible here for you, and there's a lot of blending, a lot of mix, a good balance of work life and enjoying time off. Now, as a business owner, it offers the benefit of creating exclusivity, because with a retreat you have a limited amount of people that can sign up, right? So there's exclusivity in terms of the spots, the amount of people that can sign up for this, which adds for your students uniqueness. It's something more exclusive. It's something that is not just another course or another program, right? So there's a lot of exclusivity that you offer and limitation, which means that you can price them higher as well. Now, with retreats, bear in mind that you can also do these online. It doesn't necessarily have to be abroad. So again, here it allows for both in-person and online formats. And that provides you with the flexibility of being location independent and also freedom to explore new places while you're doing your retreats in person or online. Yeah, a lot of flexibility, a lot of adventure. So things that you want to consider here with these limited spots, it may result in inconsistent income. Love online retreats. Amazing. So it may result in inconsistent income because there are limited spots available, and you can only do so many retreats a year or fill up so many retreats a year. So that can affect your overall revenue. That's why, in my experience, I'm all for hosting retreats, but I would make it one thing that you add to all the other ways that people can work with you. And it can be your courses and programs, it can be your coaching and mentorship sessions, it can be your studio and your membership, but it can also be the other model, the last model that I'm going to tell you about in a moment. Bear with me. Let me see, because lots of notes, there's so many characteristics to each of them. Again, if you have questions, write them in the chat, everyone, because I would love to hear also what you would like to create, what you have been thinking of, what you've already tried, what worked for you or hasn't worked for you, or what it is that you're considering right now. So with retreats and with events, remember, unique opportunities, very exclusive experiences. There's a lot of freedom in terms of location and scheduling, and you have the opportunity to take your students on a very transformative, extremely transformative journey in a very short period of time, and also have them go on an adventure and get out of their daily lives. So the last model is ebooks or books, blogs, and podcasts. So they can be part of your model, because here at Enga, I also have a blog and a podcast, so they are part of my business model. But you can I'm considering a membership. Amazing. Tell us a little bit more about that. What would you like to create? What type of membership? So they can be part of your business model, but it can also be something that you base your business model on. So especially for educators, for influencers, for motivational speakers, or people that are really passionate about sharing their experiences, their strategies, their knowledge, um, their tips, their how-tos, their tricks, everything really that they have lived and experienced and tried for themselves. It's a really, really great way to share your wisdom through writing and through speaking. So it provides you with the opportunity to create a lasting impact through timeless content, and that remains available for purchase so people can buy it at lower prices, but all year. There's no launch period for this, right? I mean, there might be a launch period, but then after people can purchase it whenever. So it's timeless knowledge, and it establishes an always available wisdom and experience that is accessible for purchase, always creating a lasting impact. Yeah. It also allows you to create or to share your authentic expression, especially through writing and through sharing in a podcast. There's a lot of authentic expression, and that's why I think it's ideal for educators, for influencers, motivational speakers, anyone really that wants to share their experiences or their expertise. And it's accessible. It is always accessible because you can buy it year round, and usually they are lower priced as well, which makes that more people can buy it, and you will also reach more people. So it's accessible and very impactful, right? Now, with these resources being available for sale always, you can generate a passive income. And I already told you about what a passive income means, and that it still means you will have to do some work, but it can result in a lot of stable or financial stability, right? But to be seen and to sell consistently, you still need to be visible. Yeah, it may be word of mouth, it may be through collaborations, but I do think that here as well, just as with your membership, you need to create content consistently and participate in various events so new people can find out about you and you can expand your audience. So just as with the studio and membership offer, here as well, you can scale, right? It can be the main thing that you base your business model around, but they do allow you to also offer training sessions on the side, or workshop series on the side, or private coaching or private mentorship. Yeah, there's several tiers here is possible as well. So lots of things, lots of characteristics for each of these models. For the people that joined us a little bit later, I spoke about business models to consider for a sustainable and a fulfilling wellness career, international career. We spoke about courses and programs, about coaching and mentorship, about studios and memberships. We spoke about retreats and events, and we spoke about books, podcasts, and blogs. Yeah. So before you dive in and start creating straight away, and you made the mistake of being super excited and create it without consideration and without validation. Yeah, I've made this mistake too. And that's why I'm live today, because I don't want you to make the same mistake. Consider your personality, consider your ideal lifestyle, consider your energy levels, and consider your students' needs. All of these things together, plus your vision, your purpose, and your values, will help you to make an informed decision on the business model that you want to maintain, that you want to start with, or that you want to add to the things that you already have. Yeah, depending on where you are in your journey right now. So Consider your reason why again, and consider your values, consider your students' needs. And in the last month, I've been speaking about this a lot. So go back to the other live sessions or go to the podcast, Your Yoga in English, and listen to all of the things, binge listen to all of the training sessions I did in November. In October, I think I started. In October, November, and I'm going to speak about it all of December as well, to really make informed decisions and find the tools, the strategies, the methods that are going to help you to set up your business for success in 2024. Yeah? Have a look at all these things. Take your journal and reflect. It's the end of the year. It's a perfect time to do so and make a strategic plan for the year ahead. Now, we've spoken about lots of business models here, and I want to remind you that I've launched early enrollment last week for the Launch and Expand Your International Career Program. Yeah, you've got 4 more days to enroll with our community discount of $1,500. And you may think, why is it that much? Because it sounds ridiculous how much money goes off there. And it is because it's the first time we host it as a group program. Yeah, so I've done this for the last 2 years, one-on-one. See how my business models have changed as well. Done a lot of one-on-one coaching and mentorship, and I'm now turning it into a group program. So that's number one. The other reason is because you're in our community, and I want to thank you for being here and also reward you for being here. So make use of that opportunity. And it's to celebrate that enrollment is open. So 3 reasons for the discount, but it expires on the 10th of December. If you're watching this live, this is your time to enroll. Now, in the workshop series and in the Launch and Expand program, I will go much deeper into this. And apart from giving you all of this information and things to consider, I will take you through coaching sessions to really find out what works for you and to really feel empowered with the strategies to put it into action and to make it work. Yes, I'm going to explain more as well about working online, in person, or a combination of both. The points to consider and to make a decision that really suits you, to understand the differences of being self-employed or getting hired and creating your own products, to explore international opportunities and establish international collaborations and establish your international model. And also, obviously, lots of practical tips, lots of personal guidance. I will take you by your hand to actually do it and shift from being a guide or a healer or a teacher or whatever you want to call yourself to also be an international business owner. Because I know that right now you might not feel ready to call yourself that, but I will take you through the mindset shifts to actually own it and own your leadership and embrace it and feel confident doing so. So have a look. 4 more days to enroll with the community discount. Launch and Expand Your International program. As a fun thing to add on today as well, take the quiz. What type of wellness business suits me or suits you? The link is in my bio. All the links are in my bio, actually. And if you have questions, if you have doubts, if you think, is this really for me? Book a discovery call. You can find the link in the bio as well. And we can chat one-on-one to clarify your doubts or clarify your questions. And I hope to see all of you very soon. I'll be back next Wednesday here with our weekly lives. Let me double check what I'm going to speak about because I've already decided, but I've forgotten. Give me a second. Next week, we're going to speak about, from the top of my head, no, I'm going to make it up because I've got so many topics that I would like to share with you. And all of them really, really, really excites me. I'm very passionate about it. I can't stop speaking about it. Let me double check. Yeah, very exciting topic. I think you will love this. It's what it really costs to build your business. What it really costs to build your business in terms of money, but also in terms of energy. Yeah. After that, we're going to go through a year reflection and goal setting workshop live session here, training session. And then after, we'll be live with some other people that have built their business in the wellness industry, started as yoga teachers, but have made shifts to really unite their authentic qualities. So I think those will be really great inspiration for you. Have a look at the schedule. I will post it here on Instagram. Obviously, you'll receive our weekly reminders in your email as well. Take the quiz. What type of wellness business suits you? And sign up for the Launch and Expand Your International Career Program. We start in January, but if you enroll early before the 10th of December, you can still make use of your $1,500 of discount, community discount. Sending you lots of love. Thank you so much for being here today. Any questions? You know where to find me, and I will see all of you next week. Goodbye.